Later. It's such a soft, innocent word, isn't it? So gentle, like a promise wrapped in the sweetest comfort. We say it all the time, don't we? I'll do it later. I'll call them later. I'll start tomorrow. It rolls off the tongue so easily, sounding harmless, even reassuring. But beneath its gentle surface lies a powerful trap. The lie of later is seductive because it offers a brief escape from the pressure of the present moment. It feels like a choice, like we're in control, deciding when we will act on our goals, dreams, or responsibilities. Yet later is often just a mirage, a promise that rarely delivers. We convince ourselves that there will always be time, that when we feel stronger, more prepared, or less afraid, we will finally take the step. But the truth is that later rarely comes. Life moves on, and the opportunities we wait for can quietly slip away. Later is not some magical moment waiting just around the corner. It's a trick we use to delay discomfort and avoid risk. Waiting feels safer because it doesn't demand immediate action. But ironically, waiting can be the biggest risk of all. Because while we postpone, the present fades, chances vanish, and dreams get shelved indefinitely. What if we never feel truly ready? What if the perfect moment we imagine is nothing more than a story we tell ourselves to stay stuck? The seduction of later keeps us frozen, whispering that the moment to act is in the future. But the only time we have for real change is now, in this moment. If you've ever caught yourself saying, "I'll do it later," know this: you have been seduced by a lie. And now is the time to break free. The lie of later often depends on one powerful myth, the myth of readiness. We tell ourselves there is a perfect moment to begin, a time when everything aligns and we finally feel fully prepared to take action. We say, "I'll start once I'm ready," as if readiness is a magical state we can summon on command. But the truth is that readiness rarely arrives like a gift, wrapped in a bow. It doesn't come when you've checked every box, when every detail feels perfect, or when you have a foolproof plan in place. Readiness is an illusion, a story we tell ourselves to delay the inevitable. It's a convenient excuse that masks our fears and doubts. We wait for readiness, believing it will give us the confidence to take that first step. But what if the reality is the opposite? What if readiness comes through taking that step, not before it? The first step is what creates readiness, not the other way around. How many times have you hesitated to start a project, a new relationship, or a life change because you thought you weren't ready? How many times have you convinced yourself you needed more time, more experience, or more preparation? We wait for the right circumstances, the right feelings, or the perfect alignment of the stars. Those moments rarely show up on schedule. Instead, we find ourselves stuck in indecision, endlessly waiting for perfection that never arrives. The perfect time will never come. You'll never have all the answers, and you'll never feel fully prepared. There will always be risks, uncertainties, and doubts. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful ones don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it. They act despite their fears. They begin even when they don't feel ready. So stop waiting for readiness. Stop telling yourself you'll start when you're ready. You're already as ready as you'll ever be. You have everything you need to take that first step. The fear, uncertainty, and imperfection are part of the journey. Embrace them, use them, and start now. Later kills more dreams than fear ever could. Think about that for a moment. Fear is loud and in your face. It shouts, makes your heart race, and demands that you face it head on. Fear forces you to acknowledge its presence. But later is different. It is silent. A whisper, a gentle nudge, a soft murmur that feels harmless. It doesn't scream or demand your attention. Instead, it quietly waits in the background, lulling you into complacency. You don't realize how dangerous later truly is until it's too late. Unlike fear, it offers no urgency. It convinces you that time is on your side and that there's no need to rush. So you procrastinate. You push your goals and dreams off into the future, telling yourself you'll get to them when the moment feels right. But that moment rarely comes. Fear can't be ignored. It forces you to confront your doubts, insecurities, and limitations. Though uncomfortable, fear can be a catalyst for change. It pushes you forward, even when you don't want to move, reminding you that action is necessary. Later, however, convinces you that you can wait until things are easier, until you're more prepared, until everything is perfect. It whispers, "You have time." And when you believe it, you stall and stagnate. Your dreams fade slowly, pushed to the back burner until they barely exist. What happens when you keep saying later? One day, you wake up to find your dreams slipping through your fingers. Time doesn't wait. It moves forward whether you are ready or not. Later is the silent killer because it steals your most precious resource: time. Fear might push you to act, but later lets you waste it and you won't realize it until it's too late. We don't ghost our potential by accident. We do it because we've made deals with later. It sounds familiar. I'll start the project when I have more time. I'll call them when I'm sure it's safe. I'll quit my job when it makes sense on paper. These aren't empty excuses. They're deals with delay. We promise ourselves action, but only when the timing feels right. We say we'll jump, but only when the landing looks smooth. We negotiate with our own potential as if it can be postponed indefinitely. Here's the harsh truth. Time doesn't negotiate. Life doesn't wait for your approval. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The stars won't align just because you're patient. Still, we tell ourselves we'll change when circumstances are better, when things are easier, when the risk feels smaller. Later whispers that we're waiting for something real to come. We take the bait, comforted by a lie. Before we realize it, years have slipped by in a holding pattern, waiting for a window that may never open. This deal with later trades the present for the illusion of a better future. It sacrifices now's power for the hope that something better is just around the corner. But each time we say later, we push away what matters most. Our dreams, passions, growth, and relationships. We weaken our ability to act when it counts and settle into stagnation. There's no guarantee of tomorrow, no promise of easier conditions, or less risk. If we don't start now, we may never start at all. The cost? The price of waiting. The slow erosion of our soul. The quiet regret of letting fear and doubt hold us back. The deal with later is a deal with mediocrity. But you don't have to honor it anymore. You can break the cycle. Stop negotiating with your dreams and begin the steps toward the life you deserve. What's worse than delaying your own dreams? Surrounding yourself with people who worship later too. There's a strange comfort in knowing you're not alone in putting things off. When everyone around you is stuck, it feels easier to stay stuck yourself. We validate each other's procrastination, share the same excuses, and build a collective delusion that later is okay. I'm just waiting until I'm ready, says one. Me too, says another. In this shared denial, we settle. We tell ourselves we're not alone. Until the excuse becomes the norm. This collective delusion creates a culture of inaction. We all agree that later is acceptable. That it's fine to delay living the life we want, as long as we have company in the waiting room. But this support doesn't inspire growth. It reinforces stagnation. In this world, the later mentality is normalized. Friends say, don't worry, you've got time. I'll do it when it feels right too. It sounds comforting, but just because everyone else is waiting doesn't mean you should be. The truth? If you wait until everyone else is ready, you'll never move forward. Waiting for the whole world to catch up is self-sabotage. It's the easy, comfortable way out. We've been taught to follow the crowd, to wait for the right time. But by doing that, we live smaller than we're capable of. We give away our power. The worst part? This isn't just a small delay. It's a lifetime of deferral. Many around you are stuck in the same loop. Later, I'll do it when I'm ready. But the perfect moment doesn't exist. There's only now. Life is messy and unpredictable. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop waiting and start doing. Later is a luxury most of us can't afford. Life promises nothing but now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. The idea of later rests on the shaky belief that we have time to spare. That chances will keep coming. But what if they don't? What if later is just a lie we tell ourselves to feel safe? The problem with later is it assumes time is endless. But time is fragile. It breaks without warning. You could live as healthily as possible, check every box, do everything right. And still, life can blindside you. A phone call, a diagnosis, an accident. Everything can change in a second. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Time is the one currency we can't earn back. When you delay what matters, you're not just wasting minutes. You're giving up life. One I'll do it tomorrow at a time. You're letting your dreams fade into someday. Until someday becomes never. And it's not just physical death we're talking about. It's the death of potential. Every time you say later, you're trading possibility for comfort. Trading movement for pause. But what you're really doing is losing pieces of your life you'll never recover. Even the small moments matter. That text you didn't send. That idea you never explored. That apology you keep holding off. Those aren't minor. They're the pieces of a life you keep postponing. Ready doesn't come knocking. You have to walk through the door before it appears. So don't wait. Not for confidence. Not for clarity. Not for a sign. Because time doesn't wait. It disappears. And the only thing worse than fear is regret. What are you going to do with the time you still have? Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Perfection is a trap, a shiny lie. It whispers, wait until it's the right time. Wait until you're 100% ready. But that moment, it never comes. You can wait your whole life for the stars to align, for the path to be clear, for the fear to disappear. While you wait, life passes you by. Perfection is procrastination in disguise. It's the socially acceptable excuse we cling to when we're afraid. Afraid to start. Afraid to fail. Afraid to be seen, trying and not getting it right. But here's the truth. There is no perfect. There is only now. You'll never be fully ready. Not for the big leap. Not for the risk. Not for the truth or the art or the love or the life you crave. Growth doesn't wait for readiness. It demands courage in the chaos. The leap will always feel scary. The conversation will always feel uncomfortable. The dream will always feel just out of reach. That's the point. That's the invitation. And still, we stall, waiting for that imaginary green light that says, now is safe. But safety isn't the goal. Movement is. Taking imperfect action is the only way forward. It's how you learn. It's how you build momentum. Sitting and waiting for perfection isn't cautious. It's cowardice dressed up as patience. Progress doesn't come from standing still. It comes from trying, failing, adjusting, and trying again. Forget perfect. Embrace messy. Embrace scared. Embrace now. Because perfect will never arrive. But your life already has. Start the book. Make the call. Burn the bridge. Light the match. Do the wild, chaotic, uncomfortable thing you've been rehearsing in your mind for years. For too long, you've been caught in the loop of later, waiting for some sign, some nod, some approval from the outside world. You don't need permission from anyone. Not your family, not your boss, not society. The only permission you need is your own. You've been waiting for the perfect conditions, for someone to say, now's the time. But that moment, it's already here. This is your green light. You're the one in control. Yes, you'll be scared. You'll doubt yourself. You'll wonder if you're good enough. That's okay. Everyone who ever did something that mattered felt the same fear. The difference? They acted anyway. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be brave enough to begin. The fear will come with you. Let it ride shotgun, but don't let it drive. The moment you're waiting for isn't some grand, cinematic event. It's quiet. It's ordinary. It's right now. You've already imagined the steps. Now take them. Imperfectly. Boldly. Awkwardly. But take them. Every dream begins with action. Not confidence. Not clarity. Just action. The longer you wait, the heavier it becomes. But the second you move, the weight starts to lift. You've given your time to hesitation. Now give yourself permission to try, to stumble, to grow, to become. So ask yourself, what would change if you gave yourself the green light? Now stop asking, and begin. You want permission? Here it is. You don't need to be sure. You just need to start. One step, one word, one crack in the wall. That's all it takes to begin. We're told to wait until we're ready, until we have a plan, until everything makes sense. But that's a myth, one that keeps you stuck. The truth is, most people who succeed never felt fully prepared when they began. They just moved anyway. Progress doesn't come from certainty. It comes from motion. From trying, failing, learning, and trying again. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just the first step. And taking that step is enough. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be flashy. But it has to be real. Start the draft. Send the message. Open the door. Say the thing. You're not going to feel ready. That's normal. The fear doesn't disappear before you move. It fades as you go. And the confidence you're waiting for? It's built by doing. Step by step. Messy. Human. Honest. Don't let later seduce you into inaction. Later is where dreams go to rot. This is about momentum. It's about shifting the story you tell yourself from someday to today. One step forward might not change everything right away, but it changes you. It breaks the loop. It declares, I'm no longer waiting. That's how transformation begins. Not with a perfect plan, but with a single, imperfect move. So go, step forward. You don't need the map. You just need movement. You're not waiting for the world. You're waiting for yourself. Now show up. Forget the noise that says you're behind. Behind what? Some imaginary timeline? Built by people who profit from your hesitation? Screw that. You're not too late. Not too broken. Not too much. You're here. And here's enough. The lie of later whispers that you missed your moment. That you're too old. Too late. Too far gone. But that's not truth. It's fear dressed up in logic. You didn't miss the boat. You were never meant to be on that boat. That was someone else's path. Someone else's timing. Yours is different. Yours is right on time. We are trained to think life follows a schedule, that we need milestones and deadlines to prove we're worthy. But your worth isn't measured by age or pace. Your path isn't late. It's unfolding. It's alive. It's moving with you, not against you. Time isn't a race. Presence is the point. And right now, you're present. That's what matters. Stop comparing your timeline to someone else's highlight reel. Stop measuring your journey against clocks that weren't made for you. You are not a failure for starting now. You are courageous for showing up anyway. Too late is just fear trying to wear a watch. Let it go. You haven't missed your chance. The chance is now. It's always now. In your breath. In your hands. In this moment where you choose to act. You're not behind. You're becoming. You're not late. You're here. And that's everything. Now show up for yourself. Write the thing. Say the truth. Leave the room. Apologize. Forgive. Create. Burn it down if you must. But please stop saying later. Later is a lie dressed in comfort. It tells you to wait. To prepare. To get everything just right. It whispers that you're not ready yet. That someday will be better. But later never comes. It only delays your becoming. There is no perfect moment. No grand alignment. No magical second when fear vanishes and courage takes over. The perfect time is fiction. What's real is now. Messy. Uncertain. Alive. Now is when you take the step. Now is when you say what matters. Now is when you begin. Waiting for clarity is just fear wearing a mask. You don't need clarity. You need movement. You need fire. Burn the excuses. Burn the idea that you must be flawless before you start. Burn every "I'll do it when" that's cluttered your path. And from those ashes, build. Build something raw. Something honest. Build something you. Start before you're ready. Because you'll never feel fully ready. Start because not being ready is where transformation lives. The struggle. The missteps. The imperfect attempts. That's where the growth is. That's where the real begins. Stop giving later your life. Regret lives there. But action? Action changes everything. You don't need more time. You need momentum. You need to begin. So light the match. Let it burn. Let it clear space for what's next. Then build. Then rise. Then run. You were never waiting for permission. You were waiting for yourself. And now you're here. Start. So there it is. The truth about later. It's not coming for you. The time to act is now. No more waiting. No more excuses. Just burn down the later and start creating the life you've been putting off. If you agree, ink, rage, repeat. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.